Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to do a dual showcase on a 200% leader skill. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this STR cooler, and then we're also going to look at the physical cooler, and we're going to run them on rotation together. They are both rainbow max link, so pretty much maxed out, and they are very good linking partners for each other. So we're going to kind of do this rotation here as a showcase on Ginyu's team. We'll just very quickly overview the passes in case any of you have forgotten. So STR Cooler is immense damage, lowers attack and defense. And then he's attack and defense 100, and then he's a support for transformation boost allies, 2 key and 30% attack and defense when facing one enemy. And then Terrifying Conquerors is 2 key attack and defense 50 when facing 2 or more enemies. So on this one, he's mainly just going to be the transformation boost. And then he does get a transformation. So basically, if there's a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan's enemy starting from the 3rd turn, or when facing one enemy from the 6th turn. So we're going to be able to transform fairly early, so we'll probably do that. Because we really want to see this guy as cooler, like as final form cooler, just to see how ridiculous he is. You can see full level 10 links, good to go. Fairly simple kit. He is a little bit of an older unit. He definitely has aged a bit, but we're going to see how he's looking. The 200% leader skill does revive some units. And then this physical cooler, who's not the oldest EZA, I think he's still a fairly relevant unit. He does immense damage and lowers defense. He's got attack and defense 120, launches an additional, has a medium chance of becoming a super, attack and defense 8% with each attack performed up to 80. So he needs to do 10 attacks to fully build up. So this physical cooler does need a little bit of build up, but then once he builds up, I think he's looking pretty good. So, and then we're going to actually run Cooliza as a support unit. A lot of people forget that he's a support unit for Wicked Bloodline or Fusion, so he's actually a pretty good unit to run here. And then, yeah, these guys are both Wicked Bloodline, right? Am I crazy? Let me just double check here. Yeah, Wicked Bloodline, and then this should also be Wicked Bloodline. I remember there was some unit that I thought like should have Wicked Bloodline that didn't, but yeah, it's not the coolers. They're good. So yeah, he's gonna support them, and then Turles is gonna be a support, and then we've got Toa as a support. So we're gonna have support floating around. I'm just gonna keep the 2 Ginyus on rotation together and just kind of keep them out of my way. So I've got STR Cooler here turn 1. We're gonna float him off because Physical Cooler ended up in rotation 2. So we'll just do that, but STR Cooler here, 200k defense start a turn, like, isn't the worst. The problem is he doesn't get any additional defense on super. Like, that's just what he gets, right? So I don't mind the start of turn defense. I just wish he gained defense on super. Once again, though, he's a unit that will get an easy at some point and be probably one of the more impressive EZAs in the game. This STR Cooler is one of the best aging Dokkanfest that had come out, and he was just so useful because his leader skill was so good, and the fact that he was a support unit and a leader, and that like after transforming, like in the right situations, he's guaranteed additional guaranteed critting, which is really powerful, right? Oh yeah, we forgot to look at his transform state. I guess I can show that again. But yeah, I believe it's against pure hybrid Saiyans. He gets guaranteed additionals, guaranteed crits, which makes him bananas. And then this untransformed STR Cooler still hitting 3 mil attack stats, which isn't that bad considering how old he is and that he hasn't even transformed yet, right? Let me just bop back here into the STR Cooler. So in his transformation, he does start stacking attack, which gets pretty bananas. So he has infinite attack stacking. And then, yeah, just bigger buffs. So attack and defense 180. Launches an additional, has a medium chance of becoming a super. Guaranteed crit if there is a pure or hybrid Saiyan's enemy, right? So he gets the guaranteed additional. It's not guaranteed to be a super, but when you're guaranteed critting, those additional normals still do a lot of damage. So yeah, very good right there. All right, so physical cooler here, turn 1. 121k defense isn't the craziest, but remember, he's got 10 attacks to stack, right? So what we'll do, yeah, and he's not getting like any relevant links here, so he's not looking very good at all with just those Ginyus floating around. But once we get those Ginyus off rotation and together on the other rotation, then we'll be good. Realistically, I suppose I could have left this as the Ginyu rotation and floated off cooler, but that's fine. We'll just do it this way. So yeah, 2.6 actually isn't that good at all. But once again, this is like the worst rotation. It's pretty much cooler without linking at all, with no support and not being built up. So we'll keep that in mind, that that's not a very typical cooler turn. We definitely need to give him a chance to stack up and look really good, right? But the thing is, this physical cooler I think is really good. I just never use him because I'm not really running his teams right now. But with this Ginyu around, it's definitely going to give me a reason to use him a little bit more. So let's do this. I think we will... I don't know. I guess I'll keep Cooliza on rotation just for fun. let him take a swat here. Now, Kuliza is not getting a 200% leader skill. He's only getting the 100 because he's not on Space Traveling Warriors. Okay. Let's see what we got here from Kuliza just as a bonus. Yeah, 3 mil, that's decent. I mean, considering he's a support unit, that's not too bad. And he's not like getting any of his like big time relevant links right there next to Toa. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, I'm actually not gonna lie, pretty excited I got Ginyu. I really wasn't anticipating getting him. Him and his banner units actually came quite easy for me, so I got really lucky there. I think it's like the game knows. Like when I'm not like caring about getting a unit, they just seem to like hand the unit to me, and then when I really want something, it takes me like 1,500 stones to get one copy. All right, I'm gonna prioritize physical cooler here. Yeah, now we're linking up great. Because Cooler I want to get his attack stack. So 239k defense, looking a little bit better now, right? So we'll prioritize physical Cooler, let him get some attacks in. I'm going to keep the STR Cooler untransformed for a little bit. And then maybe we'll go until like UI Goku and then transform the STR Cooler. I don't know, I kind of wanted his attack to stack a bit too. So basically the trade-off when you transform STR Cooler, you lose the support passive, but you gain a massive attacking beast, which I think is definitely worth it. So here, yeah, sure, we'll just leave the rotation like this until that other Ginyu comes around and keep floating the Toa. Toa's just a really good extreme extreme class support, right? All right, so Ginyu here at 3.8. Ginyu is actually still not bad if you're not running a full Ginyu team. Because I believe having the other Ginyu leader still counts as having another Ginyu force on the team. So he still gets some of his passive just like flat out by having that other leader. So Ginyu's not bad, but like when you have his whole team in force with the physical LR and the 2 banner units, that combination of those 4 units is just ridiculous. And I did put out a showcase on them. It was like a half-hour showcase, a little bit longer showcase for me, but we were talking about 4 units in one video. All right, so what do we got this turn? So 286k defense. So yeah, physical Cooler looking a lot better, and then STR Cooler about 200k defense. So this is a pretty like traditional turn that you're going to want here. This is where you've got the rotation set up. You have a floating support. This is pretty much what you want to have right here. So let's see what physical Cooler is going to look like. I got to get this guy fully stacked up. I do feel like having him get 10 attack. Wow, 6.5 already though. Doing 10 attacks I feel like was kind of harsh. I wish they would have cut that in half to only like 5 attacks. It does count for normal, so that does count for stacking them. Now, I haven't been counting how many we're up to. We've been getting really unlucky with additionals, though. It's very common to get triple attacks with that Cooler, and we've only gotten doubles, I feel like. All right, this is going to sting. This is STR Cooler's big problem, is he's not very defensive. So at some point, though, he's going to easy A. Like I said this in another video, but Wicked Bloodline isn't far off from being ridiculous because JP's got Resurrection F right now, so it's almost a guarantee they're going to get a Part 2 Golden Frieza LR. If you think of the AGL Metal Cooler and that STR Cooler, if they got easy A's, like, yeah, they're going to be crazy. Not to mention, Wicked Bloodline still doesn't even have, like, a good Final Form Frieza. Other than, like, that free-to-play int one that's okay in some situations. But, like, we need a Dokkanfest or LR, like, just straight-up Final Form Frieza. It's actually kind of crazy that we're past 7 years of Dokkan's life, without Final Form Frieza, like, probably the first mega huge iconic villain in the series, not having a Dokkanfest or LR is kind of crazy, to be honest. I think part of that is that, like, when Dokkan Battle was first coming out, it was like, you know, as Dragon Ball Super was coming out, and since Golden Frieza became a thing, I think they just really dove head on into Golden Frieza, and he got, like, 2 Dokkan Fests immediately, like the AGL one and the Tech one are both. Is the AGL one? No, the AGL one. Actually, the AGL one might not be a Dokkan Fest, just the Tech one. But still, like, that's kind of where they went with that, right? And then we've got the LR Golden Frieza in 17, but I don't really consider that a Golden Frieza. Like, we need standalone Golden Frieza LR, which I think is coming, and a standalone Final Form Frieza LR. I think we need that. We have a Final Form Frieza Angel, which is close, but we need a straight-up Final Form. Okay. So now, yeah, physical Cooler is a beast, man. I know I'm showing off him a lot more than the STR Cooler, but it's because I want to prioritize getting him built up. Once I know that he's fully built, Then we're going to transform with STR Cooler and like let him kind of steal the show a little bit. Because STR Cooler transformed, I think is still pretty darn impressive. So yeah, 7.4, man, physical cooler. Compare this to that turn 1, right? That was like 2 mil because it was like no stacking yet, really bad rotation, no links. I think cooler realistically turn 1 is like over 3 mil or 3.5 mil if you haven't linked properly. And then yeah, it took nothing there, double digits on the super, so defensively looking very good. This untransformed cooler, what was that? I think a 3.8. That's not too bad. The additional normal there, sure. And then Toa just doing her thing, being a support, not really doing much damage. That's fine. All right, I'm feeling like physical cooler should be pretty much fully built. We'll see what a starter turn defense looks like next turn. Oh, and when I was talking about Wicked Bloodline, didn't even mention like full power Namek Frieza, who's like an absolute beast, right? Okay, so let's do this. We'll just let the Ginyus be here. If I get to the point, like if I get low enough on health that I can transform a Ginyu, it's totally a good strategy to like run 2 Ginyus on rotation, one transformed and one not. Because then they're going to share like every link. I don't think their links change when they go to Goku Ginyu. I'm pretty sure they don't. So yeah, you can just link them up and get like full links, right? Maybe they change one link. I'd have to double check. They might be 6 out of 7 linking partners. Like I said, if we can, I'll get one transformed. Wow, Ginyu just going to town here. And this is like not optimally linked or anything, and he's still shooting out like 4 mil attack stats with all that defense he's got. That Ginyu's pretty good. And these are like 55% Ginyus, by the way. Okay. All right, I'm feeling like, yeah, 361k starter turn defense. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform. And we're going to have this beast out. Okay, now this guy is ridiculous. And I believe they should be... Oh, okay, shocking speed and brutal beatdown. So they don't... That's right, because STR, when he transforms, doesn't really change link. So yeah, 607 is still good. So we did lose a little bit of defense there because we lost the support passive, but that's fine. We will sacrifice that. I am still going to put physical cooler in slot 1. And then we're going to have... I'm going to tell you this right now. Because we're getting guaranteed crits here, I mean, if physical cooler crits on the Dokkan attack and we get additionals, we could potentially one-turn this UI Goku because these coolers are going to hit hard. But we are attacking type disadvantage here, so that is going to be a big deal. And we're at a, what, 7.3 mil attack stat. Pretty darn powerful. Okay, so with STR Cooler, the reason why I still think he's so powerful is because you're essentially getting guaranteed crits, which is like Super Vegeta. And we know how good Super Vegeta is. Yeah, look at that. Almost one-shot on the Dokkan attack. And then STR Cooler is going to go crazy here. Let's see what he takes here. Type disadvantage. Okay, yeah, 200k. That was type disadvantage. But 4.6, like that's similar to like what a Super Vegeta turn looks like. The thing is this guy also has guaranteed crits, and he had a guaranteed additional coming. So yeah, STR Cooler is looking pretty nasty there. All right, we're on int UI here. So we just want to make sure that we get to the next turn. So Toa, yeah, we'll just King Yema here, and then we're for sure fine. And then we'll just let the Ginyus do this. The Ginyu shouldn't do too much damage. I'll actually miss supers here, just to make sure. Okay, and then that key setup should be just fine. So we'll get one more turn here with our cooler rotation and see how they're looking. But honestly, I'm like super impressed with this physical cooler, which I knew I would be because he is really good. Like, he still could be better defensively, but like with the additionals and how high his attack gets, like he's kind of a beast. Like he can like tear through enemies quickly, which sometimes in Dokkan the best defense is a good offense. Like that is a strategy to try to rip through your opponents so quick that they don't get that many attacks in. That's kind of how I view the STR Cooler as well, because he's not defensive. But when you have like guaranteed crits, if any of you have all ever used Super Vegeta, you know how good it feels to run him and know that you're getting crits every time. It just feels the damage feels so good. Even though his attack stat isn't like the most amazing thing in the world, which some turns it can be. That Super Vegeta, I had him at like 10, 12 mil attack stats in the right situations on a 200% leader skill, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, 355k defense here for physical cooler is pretty darn good, right? Sure, let's do Fruit of the Tree of Might as well. Go crazy. We're making this the last turn. Better go out with a bang. Let's see how many health bars we can take off of Goku, because now we got type advantage, and we're going to crit with the other one. 8 mil, and this is without the extra support that Cooler could be having in the middle. Jeez. And then an additional, and then give me a hidden potential one. Yep, and then the super. So 8.5. So he just did like a 17 mil attack stat. The potential for a third 8.5 mil attack stat. That was very impressive there. Look at UI Goku just got shredded. And then 5.2. This is going to be a guaranteed crit. I think we're one turning UI Goku here. I'm not going to lie. And this is the cooler rotation carrying. Like Ginyu, like these turns, like Ginyu didn't even get a turn. Yeah, we just one turned it right there with all those guaranteed crits. Look at that. One turned STR UI, one turned Int UI with the cooler rotation, 200% leader skill. They're looking pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, yes, STR cooler is going to get crushed in red zone, but for most content, like you can still run this rotation. That's pretty viable. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.